We've had lots and lots of rain. Thought I'd come out and take a stroll and let you listen to the frogs. It's like we've got a whole orchestra of frogs. All the rain that fell. Listen to them making their music. We're by the dam area now. The dam area doesn't hold its water. It's a pity actually. When I was young, because I've been living here since the age of about 2. This dam used to be chock-a-block full. We would still use canoes to go on the dam, but it doesn't hold water anymore. So somewhere there is a leak. So quite a bit of rain fell. With the last sort of flood we had a couple of months back, the dam was virtually full to the brim, but slowly it subsides over the course of a month or 2. But this will evaporate fairly quickly, the bit that's in here now. But when the dam was full the last time, the ducks came visiting, which was quite cool. The wild geese and the different duckies. But I don't think I've ever heard the frogs so busy. Whoop, see. I think they're somewhere in these papyrus. Somewhere in here. Oh, okay, I thought I could go a little bit in the water, but I'll get stuck in there. Quite a bit of water here. This is sort of a little gully that leads off into the dam. A hole that I dug way back when I was planning where to plant the fruit trees. But yeah, that's been like that for ages. That shows you how much rain fell there, because that hole was probably about 70 centimeters the depth. See where else we can see how the rain fell. Oh, it's actually starting to rain now. Normally this whole section at the point of the labyrinth over there, this is a heart-shaped labyrinth, so normally at this point here, this is like this whole area is a low-lying area, so the water always gathers over here. This little section actually is like a kind of a real marshy section, so I do need to be aware of how the plants are doing in this section. So some of them might not be very happy. We did these little beds between the pathways were quite they were very low when we first sort of dug out the grass, so we put a lot of soil to almost create like a little berm, but I think the little berm sort of has settled, so it did give the plants a little bit more of a fighting chance. But we might need to, in time to come, maybe berm it up even more. It sort of goes uphill again. The grass is very long, but our weed eater is back, so Maniki will be cutting the grass soon. So yeah, there's quite a bit of water there. Not too much. A little bit over there on the grass. And hop over the edge here. You can see how it's flowing all along the... It's literally like flowing all along the edge. And there's a bit of a stronger flowing part. Must actually see how much rain did fall. We'll check the rain gauge out. Look how beautiful the bottle brush looks. It's really impressive that for all its red flowers. Yeah, there's lots of water over here. Let me show you this area. This was one of the areas that we were sort of looking at when preparing to spray for the weeds. Yeah, look at all the water here. This is another area that I'm going to need to just bring a bit of soil in, just to berm this ground up. This is sort of the bed originally. This is where the garden bed ended originally, and then this whole section, sort of like this arm almost, is what I extended so that we could create a separate garden for the labyrinth. So the labyrinth would become a garden by itself, not part of the strolling garden. So yeah, the lawn obviously sat higher than this section. Yeah, so I will definitely need to remedy it. And because the labyrinth is sort of, well, the mountains is in the distance, so the ground off to that side is higher, and then it naturally runs off down here. It sort of runs along the fence line, really. There's a gully along the fence line that takes water away. We stay next door to a poultry farm, so yeah, they've channeled all their water to run along the front, so it runs in our gully and then goes to the very corner of our property. When my dad was alive, he would always say, if you want to make a dam, you've got to do it in the bottom corner, because that's where all the water runs to. Maybe down the line, who knows, when my ship comes in, then we'll make a great big dam there. Maybe we can put some fish in for my husband to fish. He's a fisherman, so maybe he'll like that idea. So yes, lots of water here. See, you can see it goes right underneath here. You can see on the higher sections it's quite dry. Let's pop along here. This is not so bad, yeah. That little spot there is quite high. It's starting to rain again. Yeah, there's quite a bit of water here. I think this is why originally the swamp cypresses were planted here, because this water lies here. So the swamp cypresses are happy campers in this kind of weather. They're busy leafing out now, so they're looking really beautiful when they get their foliage. But yes, lots of water here, and lots of water here. The driveway, let me show you up the other side. It's quite a bit of water here. This bed yeah, this bed also has lots of water in it. This bed is a bit prone, yeah, but when we make this bed shorter, that will be better, because then the plants won't sort of drown in the water, yeah. And yeah, this is what happened with the last time it rained so much. This is what happened. Not very good. Not very good at all. This pot, when I first did it, was full of that little ground cover, little succulent ground cover, and then it all died when this happened. So I do want to move this to higher ground, closer to the big round pot over there. Then it'll stand a better chance, because that ground is a lot higher and it slopes down quite a bit to this lower lying area. But we'll look at that in another video. I do want to make a couple of changes to this area. So yep, we've had lots of rain, which has been good for the fruit trees to help them also just settle in. Had a nice bit of water. I did give them some water after we planted them, but I thought just in case, sometimes the weather reports are totally out. So there's lots of water here too, in this little bed where we're going to be doing the rockery and stumpery and all the succulent garden. But these juncus are actually awesome, because they can handle this kind of water logging, and they can also handle the drought. So that's sort of why I actually planted them along here, because they're so dual purpose. So yeah, it's quite cool. So what I might do is, when we extend this, I will just, they seed themselves like crazy, so yeah, there'll be plenty to extend this, yeah, so that there's a big swath of the juncus over here. It's difficult when one has to find plants that are drought tolerant but also water tolerant. So yes, one goes back to the indigenous to see what will work. Yeah, so water over here, but further up it's not looking too bad. I think there's another little section further up that I'll show you. I'll show you, look how beautiful all the bulb vines are looking. Look at them, they're pretty. Let's see if we can show you a flower. Very pretty. They've grown, since the video where I put all these little cuttings in. The growth that they've put on is just phenomenal. There's a couple of ones struggling here and there, but yeah, for little cuttings that were put in just a little while ago, I'm mighty impressed. The Mayflowers, Cape Mayflower, that's that one there, and that one there. That was a big plant that I'd transplanted from elsewhere. It wasn't happy where it was, and yeah, it's looking really good now, so it holds a lot of promise. Even the little ones are looking like happy campers. Those are short ones. Okay, let's see where else there's lots of water coming up ahead. Yeah, there's quite a bit of water here in this area. This is another area that's very prone to have lots of water. Yeah, we'll have to see how those sedums sort of tolerate the water, but lots of water. This section here is actually quite a bad section in the driveway. Yeah, this is another plant. This is deities. This is also an indigenous one. Jeez, these are looking beautiful. Look at all their flowers. Aren't they pretty? Let's take you a bit closer. I wonder if that's really capturing. You can't see. The rain has made them almost translucent. Isn't that pretty? They're indigenous, and yeah, they're another one that it's like a sort of it's along the line of a iris family. So it's cool, like the juncus. It can handle drought, and it can also handle this. It can handle flooding. So again, along the driveway and in this particular spot, I didn't think about that when I actually planted it. Yeah, originally when I did this little section of garden extension. Yeah, this section here, this little piece of bed, this was also an original bed, that's been here for many years. And then we had one of our landscaper clients that came to buy pots, and I hassled him to come and walk around the garden just to tell me a couple of plants that I didn't know what they were. So he was saying how you never want to see your garden all in one go. So that is when I sort of joined the beds up. So this little section here where the deities is quite a new one. That was also a sort of a section that was here before, but a lot younger than this section. And then this section we did to join the beds up, so that when we drive along the driveway, you don't see to the garden in the distance. Okay, you see now, but when the hibiscus, that hibiscus with the orangey leaves, has its leaves, then it does block the view. Behind there is a Ochna cerulata. It's a Mickey Mouse bush. We've had it for donkey's years. It's been in a couple of different spots, and then we moved it to here, but we've never seen the flowers ever. So I'm excited to see when it actually gets flowers. So that will grow a lot bigger, and then that will block the view out there. So the whole idea is that you don't want to see your garden, because then it takes away all the surprise. Then you see everything in one shot, and then what's the point of walking and strolling in the garden? So yes, there's been lots of rain. We still picked up the carpets, all the loose mats that we could do, picked up the dogs' baskets in preparation in case the water flooded through the house as it did last time a couple of months back. But thank goodness it didn't get so, it didn't rain that much, but it rained enough. So at least the garden will appreciate all the water, seeing that we don't water, so the rain is the only water that it gets. So thank you, Lord, for sending us the rain and also filling our tanks up. So yes, that's definitely been a nice soaking, just to put some moisture back into the earth again. This is the spot here from the other side where we were looking behind the deities. This is now from the opposite side. You can see the water. So this whole little section is very prone. If I go a little bit closer, you can see there's a gully. There's a gully over there. That gully used to take, when my dad was still alive, we had a pipe that took the backwash water from the pool that ran underneath the lawn, and then came out over there. I don't think that pipe really works anymore, but yeah, that is a place obviously where all the water collects, and then if the pool does overflow, then yes, everything comes from that way, and if we have to backwash, it all comes down here. You can see here's the gully again. So this was the gully that took the water, and then there was a pipe that went from there. Let me take you this side. It went from there and then all the way to that side. So yeah, this spot is very, very prone. With the last floods, that was quite hectic. The water ran all through the house. The carpets were soggy and smelly for a long time afterwards. So the last lot, it washed all the mulch out of the garden, and then it all runs off and it runs down there, and then from there it goes off and then down to the corner of the property. So hope you guys found it interesting seeing little snippets of the garden, even though it's untidy here and there.